Hey, so I wanted to give a try of the new Anthropic model. That's Opus 4.5 that launched yesterday. So here was my use case. I was playing around with Claude Desktop and writing an email sequence, which I have really no experience in. And I'm in this kind of quagmire where I have a cohort of subscribers over here and another one over here, and then new users joining, and I kind of want to consolidate that into one simple automation. But then create an automation where I'm able to offer these new subscribers one of my programs, and I just needed some help. But what happened was I ran out of credits on my Claude desktop session, and I was kind of in a state where I needed some help. So what a perfect use case for throwing a big mess at this new model and see what it could do with it. So what I did was I did this in Cursor. Don't be, for those that don't code, Cursor for me is just a file manager. So um, since I'd already run out of credits in my pro subscription for the 4 hour allotted time, I switched over, which is super easy to do when you log into Claude Code. I switched over to my API credits. And so I just always keep an allowance in there, a couple dollars, frankly, and then that way I can continue to work until that window opens up again. But I did this. What I did is I copy pasted and dumped all of the conversation I had when I kind of hit that roadblock, as well as the artifacts that I created, and then I created this document called instructions, and just sort of like, you know, complain like, here's where I am, I'm not sure what to do, this is my goal, and try to provide any little bit of detail that it might need. I'm sure I left things out, but I wasn't like structuring it. I was just kind of free form typing in like, here's my situation. It's like if I went to a colleague and explained like, hey, can you help me out? I'm kind of in a mess here. Let me think through this with you and see if you can help me out. That's pretty much what I did. So I did this in plan mode in Cursor, so you can toggle that back and forth in Cursor. And I selected the model Opus 4.5, all within Claude Code, and let it run. So it churned through all the information I gave it, and the goal that I gave it was to come up with a plan. So it came up with implementation guide. So this is what I need. I'm going to switch to this is Obsidian. So just so we can see the documents a little bit more easily. So it has a beta launch implementation guide. So this is actually what I do inside of my mail automation program, which is great. Very detailed. I mean, if I were asking a project manager to give me a plan, I would be very happy with this. It goes into very much great detail about exactly what I set up, all the links. It has the domains correct, the launch sequence, so how I set up the actual automations and the timing of when I activate things. It has a checklist to make sure everything's set up correctly. But I did have a follow-up question, and so I asked it to help me out. So I had to ask a clarifying question because I was a little confused after reviewing all of these. And so it created a whole setup guide, being more explicit about what I needed to do. And it certainly did answer my question and provided a lot of detail. So long story short, I threw pretty much a mess at 4.5 Opus and asked it to help me figure it out. And it knew enough about the email program. I did connect MCP to MailerLite, which is the mail program. So it did know a little bit about my configuration, but it was able to guide me step by step what I needed to configure, as well as which automations I need to set up. And in fact, it provided really good guidance in terms of what the emails should say. So I do write those myself, but I always appreciate Claude's guidance in those. So very happy so far. I'm excited to play around with it. It's known for writing code. I haven't done any of that yet. It has a number of other features that are somewhat code related, which I have not tried out yet, but just in terms of an overall model and sophistication, it's pretty cool. So thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any questions. See ya.